award-winning nurse blogger, writer, podcaster, author, and popular career columnist. With more than 2 decades of nursing experience, Keith deeply understands the issues faced by the 21st century nurses. His podcast, The Nurse Keith Show, offers inspirational and practical support to nurses seeking to create meaningful, satisfying lives and careers. Keith believes that nurses' voices deserve to be amplified and heard. Please join me in welcoming Nurse Keith.
Good morning. Hello, nurses. So we're here, nurses. We are here this morning because our voices matter. And that is my message to you. Our voices matter. We're here with our nurse sisters and brothers because we believe in what we do, and we believe in the power of our voices to create change and to be a force for good in the world. Don't we believe that? Yes! And doesn't it feel good to be all together? Yes! Does it really feel good? Yes! All right. There's power in numbers, and our numbers today represent that power, and this is a powerful moment for nursing. And when I ask you during this talk, when I ask you whose voices matter, what are you going to tell me? You're going to tell me that nurses' voices matter. So whose voices matter?
Nurses' voices matter!
Whose voices matter?
Nurses' voices matter!
Nice. So the media may ask us, where are the media today? They're not here. But if they ask us, why do nurses' voices matter? Why do nurses' opinions hold any weight or hold any water? Why should we listen to nurses? That's what the media might say. They might say, we just need to go to the doctors and our Rolodexes and our iPhones. Those are the people we need to call for opinions. But I'll say in response that nurses matter because we're the lifeblood of the healthcare system. Aren't we the lifeblood? But I'll go further. I'll say that we're the nervous system of the healthcare system. We're the connective tissue of the healthcare system and the delivery of healthcare. Some people say we're the heart of healthcare, but you know what else I say? I say we're the very mitochondria of healthcare. Nurses are the energy powerhouses that the healthcare engine could not survive without. Do you believe that?
Yes!
So what would happen if every nurse in the country walked off the job tomorrow? What would happen? Disaster. There would be utter chaos. And do you know what? Would we ever do such a thing? No, we would never do such a thing because our patients and our jobs and our mission and our values prevent us from doing that. The pledge that we take when we graduate from nursing school prevents us from doing that. We work sometimes in deplorable conditions with mandatory overtime, outrageous nurse-patient ratios, incivility, bullying, low pay, and often substandard benefits, and we're the people who hold our patients' lives almost literally in our hands. But many of us, what do we do anyway? We soldier on, don't we? We put our noses to the grindstone because we love what we do, we love touching people's lives, and we love saving people and being there for the people who we are commanded by our inner strength, our inner wisdom, to protect those people, to bring them back to health. So when we raise our voices, when we speak our truth, we're confronting ignorance with knowledge, and we're shining light into the shadowy corners of minds that might otherwise be closed to our message. So the people that Laura mentioned, the people that Beth mentioned, that think differently about this issue, we need to shine a light into the shadowy, cobwebbed corners of their minds and tell them what we think. Can we do that?
Yes!
So whose voices matter?
Nurses' voices matter!
All right. So when nurses speak out about the importance of nurse-patient ratios and our legislators listen, when they listen to us, we're speaking truth to power. We're speaking truth to power. And when we become citizen lobbyists like we are today, we're taking a stand behind our position, and we're saying that we deserve to be heard. So when we believe in a cause and we take actions to support that cause, like all of you have taken today, we're using our inner resources as nurses who care enough to take action, and you all care enough to take action because you're here right now. So my friends, nurses, colleagues, everyone who's here, we have the individual collective strength to bring about change on whatever level we choose to do so. And as the most trusted professionals in the country, year after year in the Gallup poll, we know the public trusts us, even if they don't really understand what we do and what we're capable of. It doesn't really matter. So we can choose to continue to gather together and speak out like we are today and leverage our identity, leverage that trust that the public has in us for the causes that call our name. And this is a cause that calls our name. So whose voices matter? That's right. And when we advocate for the safety of our patients, it's our direct experience on the front lines of healthcare that matters. Patients' safety and health is crucial to us, and we know best how poor working conditions negatively impact our patients and their health outcomes. When we ask for a meeting with the CFO, with the chief nursing officer, with the DON, with the CEO, with the legislator, in order to share our expertise and our expert observations about something in our work that's not quite right, we're using our intellect, we're using our minds and our courage and our hearts to bring clarity to that situation. That's what we're doing today. We are educating people through social media, through video, through audio, through conversations with legislators. We know what we need to do and we're here to do it. So the nursing process teaches us to assess, right? It teaches us to gather data and then take action. Today we're taking action because we've gathered the data and we know the cause is worth fighting for, don't we? So whose voices matter? That's right. So when a nurse tells another nurse that it's not okay to bully or harass or intimidate another nurse colleague, that nurse is saying no to bullying and incivility among our peers. Negative and aberrant behavior undermines nursing practice, it undermines patient safety, and we have the courage to tell those bullies to cease and desist, don't we?
Yes!
When a surgeon strikes the scrub nurse in the back of the head to exert his power over her, do we remain silent?
No!
Did you see that video of that surgeon striking that nurse in the back of the head? We have to say no to actions like that. So whose voices matter?
Nurses' voices matter!
That's right. And when a nurse writes a letter to the editor and expresses his or her expert opinion, that voice is magnified, it's amplified by the power of that nurse to reach more people, thousands, hundreds of people. So letters to the editor in your local community are powerful. Don't underestimate the ability when someone sees RN after your name, when you write a letter to the editor, don't underestimate the impact that that letter can have. We can insert our opinion into the public conversation because whose voices matter?
Nurses' voices matter!
And when a nurse educates a patient and the patient's family about controlling that patient's diabetes or hypertension, she is using her voice to change that patient's life for the better. And when a nurse holds a dying patient's hand and provides comforting words, that nurse's voice is bringing healing and compassion into the room. We are educators, we are healers, and what we do and what we say has meaning. So whose voice matters?
Nurses' voices matter!
You're so good at that. I'm gonna keep asking. So when a nurse runs for city council or the school board in their local town, that nurse is inserting his voice into the important issues impacting the local or regional community. When a nurse runs for mayor of her city, who's gonna run for mayor of their city? Somebody here. There we go. We have a winner. So she's gonna take a stand, run for mayor of Chicago, and speak out in a powerful way about her value and her worth as a citizen. And when a nurse runs for Congress or Senate or the presidency itself, down there, his or her voice is reaching even higher into the echelons of power. There are nurses in Congress right now. Did you know that? Are you the nurse next senator? Are you the next nurse senator? Are you the next nurse senator or member of Congress representing? Oh, there she is. There's the next nurse senator. So is your grandson or granddaughter or great-granddaughter going to be the first nurse president of the United States? So whose voices matter? That's right, my friends, my colleagues, my fellow nurses. I've personally seen how nurses' voices can be used for good, and when we raise our voices together, the impact is amplified hundreds and thousands of times. We're here together today because we believe in the strength of numbers, in the critical mass of nurses who believe enough in themselves and in our profession to stand up and speak out. So in the end, our voices matter because every person's voice matters. Every firefighter, every accountant, every Uber driver, every gasoline station attendant has a voice that matters, but not all of them have the privilege to have a public stage like this. So we need to carpe diem, we need to seize the moment and believe in our individual and collective courage and power to affect change in a complicated 21st century world. So friends, feel your power, connect with it, play with it, amplify it, bring it up from your belly and shout it to the treetops, shout it to the Capitol. Whose voices matter? Whose voices matter? Whose voices matter? So go out there and speak your truth.